Yeah, dear student, welcome back to the business study class, and today we continue with our chapter 5, organizing. So in the previous class I taught you about the functional structure, and topic going on is types of structure. So in previous class I taught you the functional structure. Functional structure is generally related to an enterprises who are producing less number of the product, and they are also doing the several sides of function. Now consider a case of a company who is a very diversified company. So if you remember, I gave you the example of JK Group, Juggimal Kamalapat Singhania. Clear? They are manufacturing tires, clear? Photocopier paper, clear? They are also preparing garments with the name brand of Raymond's. They are preparing toiletries with the name of Helen Curtis. Clear? At the same time, they are also making cement. So it's a highly diversified company. Or we can also take the example of Tata's. They are operating in almost 25 divisions and running more than 100 factories in a country and outside of India also. Okay, so for that purpose, divisional function is or divisional structure is suitable. So under each structure there is one divisional manager, and that divisional manager is looking after all of the function like purchase, production, sales and marketing, research and development, and after sales service. Okay? And similar type of the activities are going on in every division, like see cosmetic, garment, FMCG, footwear and cement. So this is the basic function of the divisional structure. In a divisional structure, the organization structure comprises of the separate business units or division, and each unit has a divisional manager. Clear? And divisional manager is looking after all the department and responsible for the productivity and profitability. He has to look or she has to look after all the things. Generally, manpower is grouped on the basis of different products manufactured. Each division is multifunctional. Now see, every department or each division is doing the homogeneous work. Clear? Or similar type of the activities like purchase, production, sales, marketing, research and development, and after sales service. Every department is having its own R&D persons, own after sales service, and they are running separately. Clear? And like consider an example of mobile operator. There is only one producer of 4 brands of mobile: Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi, and OnePlus. Clear? And they are running in separate divisions. Clear? Their marketing heads are different. Owner is same, reporting person is same, but marketing managers are different. Even if you see that in India, when they are doing the advertisement, all 4 brands are having different brand ambassadors or different advertisement ambassador. They are not making the advertisement of one model with one person only. No, 4 persons are appointed who are doing the advertisement of these mobiles. Each division is self-contained as it is developed expertise in all functions related to the product line. In other words, within each division, the functional structure tend to be adopted. Always remember, in every division, functional structure is already present. Clear? Only difference is that here this company is making so many products, and in functional structure they are generally making only 1 or 2 products. Generally, divisional structure is suitable for highly diversified companies. Just now I gave you the example of JK Tyres and Tata. Further, each division work as a profit center where the divisional head is responsible for the profit or loss of his division. For example, a large company may have division like cosmetics, clothing, everyone. So definitely some of the unit might be giving more profit and some of the unit may be giving less profit or no profit. So that is dependent entirely upon the management whether they want to continue that unit or do not want to continue that unit. Clear? Now see the advantages. Advantages of divisional structure. Product specialization. This is the basic advantages of having a divisional structure. Here what you have is the product specialization, because each unit is producing different type of the product and they are having a specialty in that product. This is because he gains experience in all the functions related to the product work. So when you are doing the product specialization, means one unit is just making only one type of the product. So this leads them to expertise or having a specialty in the manufacturing of that product. Divisional heads are accountable for profits. Divisional heads or DRM are responsible for the maintenance of that particular unit and whether that particular unit is earning profit or loss, or if it is incurring loss, then why loss is coming. They have to look after their department and they are accountable for it. So this provide proper basis for performance. Means it also in the fixation of responsibility in cases of poor performance of the division, and appropriate remedial action can be taken. Okay. At the same time, it promotes flexibility. It promotes flexibility and initiative because each division function as an autonomous unit, which leads to the faster decision making. Here, as I have told you, the divisional manager is the head of each unit. So here he is having a high degree of the flexibility to take the decision in favor of the organization. It facilitates expansion and growth as new division can be added without interrupting the existing operation. Clear? New divisions are added. If the top level management is of the view that new division should be added, so new division can be added in an organization in the divisional structure without interrupting any existing division. Clear? Because every unit is separate, their manufacturing process is separate, their raw material is separate, so they are not having any problem with any of the department. Like consider an example of this. Cosmetic division has nothing to do with the cement manufacturing division. Neither they have any correlation nor they are troubling the employees or the raw material. Clear? Now see the disadvantages. Sometimes conflict of the interest may arise at the time of allocation of the fund, because every unit is in need of the fund for further expansion and growth, and they come from the centralized department or top level management, chief executing officer or the board of directors decided. So sometime while allocation of the fund, the unit which are sick will get more fund or they will get less fund, both the things may happen, while the profitability enterprise may get the more fund or that one. So this thing may lead to the conflict of interest among the different divisions. Clear? Sometimes it may lead to increase in cost. Clear? Because several type of work is going on in every division. For example, cosmetic division is also having the packing department, garments, footwear. Everybody is running its own packaging department, or different vendors from there may are buying the product. So sometimes it may lead to the increase in the cost of the raw material. It provides managers with the authority to supervise all activities related to the particular division in course of the time. Such a manager may gain power and even in a bid to assert his independence may ignore organizational interests. Sometimes what happens? The divisional manager becomes so powerful because he is responsible for the profitability and accountability of the whole division. So sometimes they may become so powerful and they may ignore the organizational interests, and they may also do the abuse of authority. Clear? So this type of the divisional structure is suitable for a highly diversified organization and where they are manufacturing more than 2, 3 or 4 products. Clear? So it's very easy for them to maintain the separate division. Clear? Overall in charge will remain the same. When an organization grows and needs to add more employees, create more department and introduce new level of management, it will decide to adopt a divisional structure. Thus, it can be said that business operate in a dynamic environment, and those enterprises who are performing very well needs to be diversified themselves, because you heard that in case of perfect competition, there shall be free entry and exit of the firms. Yeah? So whenever a firm sees that there is an opportunity or there is an opportunity in doing the business, they are definitely going to enter into the business. It's a normal business feature. So hence management must continuously review its plan and objective. Accordingly, organizational structure of the entity should also be subjected to the periodic reviews to determine if modification is required. And organizational structure should always contribute to the welfare of the organization, because if the organizational welfare, everybody will welfare. If the organization prosper, everybody will prosper. This is the basic rule of the business. And should provide enough scope for initiative so that the contribution of personnel can be maximum and can be effective. So in this way, the big business enterprises are going to adopt. I hope this thing is clear to you. Thank you.